Breaking Commitment 2026 coverage tonight. Many of the races we are following now have been called.
And here is what we now know. The Republican primary for governor is headed to a runoff. The Associated Press is reporting that Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette and Attorney General Alan Wilson are advancing to the election that will be held on June 23rd.
You can see the results right there. Pamela Evette with 29% of the votes in. Alan Wilson not far behind with 26%. 76% of all votes are now in.
Our Jane Roblo is live in Columbia tonight, where Wilson just addressed his supporters. Jane.
Well, it's just now gotten to the decibel level where y'all will be able to hear me. Crowd behind us really loud tonight, cheering Alan on as he came down about 9:10, thanking his wife Jennifer, his children, Michael and Anna Grace on the stage. He also, his mom, Roxanne, was here. He made a little joke thanking his financial supporters and said, "I'll be calling you all first thing in the morning." He thanked his competitors, and he invited Nancy Mace, who has said she will support him. He invited Nancy Mace supporters, Ron Reddy supporters, and Ralph Norman supporters to all join his campaign, saying that this will be the second time the Morning Star of South Carolina will rise. The people of South Carolina will have fair representation. Small businesses will get their due, and also that property taxes will become affordable. Live in Columbia, Jane Roblo, WYFF News 4.
And on the Democratic side of the governor's race, the Associated Press has called the race for South Carolina Representative Jermaine Johnson.
He currently has more than 55% of the vote. Our Caitlin Ashbaugh is also in Columbia following his campaign.
After a full day spent traveling across the state to the polls, shaking hands, Dr. Jermaine Johnson can now call himself the official Democratic nominee for governor. And for a moment, you could see him looking up at the sky, overwhelmed, at a loss for words. Johnson was emotional, celebrating with his congregation at St. John Baptist Church, supporters who've carried him through months of campaigning. He thanked many people, and at the core, first-time voters who he met at the polls. He believes their engagement could shift the state's long-held supermajority. It's only the beginning for Johnson, though, as he prepares to vie for a seat held by Republicans for more than 20 years. Johnson has spoken against immigration enforcement in Abbeville County, the development of data centers and casinos across the state. He's opted to legalize medical marijuana, pardoning all nonviolent offenses related to the drug. Johnson's also a product of a working-class family. Many of his pushes reflect those same values, expanding access for opportunities for low-earning individuals and seniors, rural communities, and youth. Make sure to tune in at 11 p.m. tonight. We'll have a word from Jermaine Johnson as he celebrates his win tonight. Reporting in Columbia, Caitlin Ashbaugh, WYFF News 4.
Caitlin, thank you. And tonight, the GOP primary for U.S. Senate has been called for incumbent Lindsey Graham.
Our Stephanie Trotter joins us live now from the state capitol as Senator Graham is seeking his 5th term. Stephanie.
Do you know what? The senator came out about 9 o'clock. He met with all of his supporters here in the room for about 30 minutes and then went back behind closed doors. Do you know what? He just came back out. He came out and they are getting ready to take a team picture. You can see him right there, fist pumping some of his folks. He had a full house here. He said when he goes to bed tonight, he's going to be the most grateful person in South Carolina. He's now looking to November, saying he's ready to return to the Senate for a 5th time.
Annie Andrews, congratulations, but she's not going to beat me. But the primary was the nastiest I think I've experienced, and the voters soundly rejected that.
The team behind me has been working so very hard with this senator. Taking a quick look at the numbers from tonight, it looks like he will end up getting about the same percentage he got in 2014, around 56, 58%. In 08, he had 66%, and in 2020, 68%. Reporting live in Columbia, Stephanie Trotter, WYFF News 4.
Stephanie, thank you. In the race for U.S. Senate, you heard him talking about it right there. The AP has called Dr. Annie Andrews as the winner for the Democratic nomination tonight.
Our Mark Whiteman following her campaign tonight.
All smiles in Greenville tonight for the Charleston pediatrician turned politician Annie Andrews, who earned the Democratic Party's nomination to the U.S. Senate. Andrews launched her campaign with a sharp attack against Lindsey Graham, and while she will spend the months leading up to Election Day drawing a contrast between herself and her incumbent opponent, Andrews saying there is a place for everyone in her campaign, Democrat, Republican, or Independent, telling her gathered supporters on election night that the path to flipping South Carolina blue in November runs through Greenville County. We spoke with the candidate for U.S. Senate shortly after earning her nomination, and we will bring you her remarks tonight at 11. But for now in Greenville, I'm Mark Whiteman, WIFF News 4.
Well, let's bring in Linda Abrams, professor of politics at Bob Jones University. Linda, tonight is South Carolina. So we've got Democrats voters who have spoken loudly on the Democratic side. We've got Democratic candidates who have been chosen tonight, but it is an uphill battle for them in South Carolina, is it not?
It is an uphill battle. It's a very red state. It's there are no statewide elected Democrats, so it really is an uphill battle. But you know, it all starts with a grassroots campaign, right. And Republicans. It's not been that many decades ago when there were no Republicans elected in South Carolina, and it's about a grassroots campaign that builds and builds, and I think that's what Democrats are doing in the state.
And everyone, you know, sort of expected that some of these races that we saw head into a runoff were going to head into a runoff, right? So what comes next for these candidates as we head into that runoff?
Well, they have 2 weeks of very, very hard work, and they're going to be trying to pull in the supporters from the candidates that did not make it into the runoff and trying to make their case. So there's going to be more emails and more texts and more advertisements, which some, constituents are not too happy about, but we're going to see this ramp up in intensity in these next 2 weeks. But there really were no surprises tonight, and the polls were right.
Yeah.
All right. Linda Abrams with Bob Jones University, thank you so much. We will have team coverage of primary night from across the state coming up on WIFF News 4 at 11.
You can also follow the results with the ticker at the bottom of your screen and online at WIFF4.com and the WIFF4 mobile app.